I love that. All right, guys, this is Romy. I'm Romy. I'm here with Mel. This is the real Romy. I'm in her beautiful house, like stunning. Like I pulled up in my truck and she opens the gate to this like gorgeous land. We're looking at Austin, Texas right now. That's the view. And I mean,
well, thank you.
You're living a good life up
Thank
here.
Thank you.
I'm here because, well, Mel and I have been friends for years. We have the same circle of friends, hairdresser, makeup artist. I've known you as a hairdresser.
Yep.
That's been the industry that that we both have just been a part of. But then I had you on the podcast for the F at Mother's, brought you on as a mom because you became a mom a little bit later than some of us, right? And so I was like, oh, she's going through motherhood now. Let's talk mom life. You came on and talked about how you took off, right?
Yes, Costa Rica.
You guys left?
Yeah, we were doing our trial run last year.
Yeah.
When we talked last, yeah.
And I'm curious if, you want to grab the bone?
Yeah.
Her dog is chewing on a bone right now, guys.
We'll put him outside. There you go, bud.
That's life. I would be most curious, because I didn't know. I know you were working on stuff when you were in Costa Rica.
Mm-hmm.
So you were leaving, right, with your baby.
Right.
And your husband.
Yeah.
Living this life with monkeys and animals and Airbnb in this place.
Yeah, last year we didn't.
Okay.
Now we do. Now, which is hard.
Yeah.
It's like a little weird.
But were you creating what we're about to get into, your own line when you were gone?
This year, yes. I started fall of last year.
Okay. So for everyone, Mel created a line called Grasa.
Yes.
And I've been posting about it and I've been using it and I've been obsessed with it. And so before we just get into it, I need you to explain to me why I love it so much and how you got into this and how you transitioned from, or if you're still doing both, like how you got into a whole new industry.
Yeah, it's wild. So after being in Costa Rica for a few months and living this very simple, clean life, we'd already been doing this with our food, with our fitness. You don't really think as hard about what you're putting on your body. People are now, but I think that's the natural progression. You're like, I should probably clean up what I'm eating and putting in my body.
Right.
And I love that it's this collective conversation now. People are talking about it. But we got home and I was like, I can't go back to this like fast life.
Yeah.
I have to have more control over my schedule because when I'm in Costa Rica, I spend so much time with my kid.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I know your videos, it was like on the water and like with like sticks and it was like so many sticks. I was like, it's just such a simple, slow life.
Yeah. It's much slower and cleaner. I don't like the word clean as much, but it's just, you don't need as much stuff. And so I get back and looked in our cabinet and was, I don't know if I want to use this stuff. And I had been doing a little research when I was there about different moisturizers. Because coming from a very humid environment like Costa Rica to Texas, even though people say Austin's humid, it is nothing compared to that. So I knew I would need something rich. And so I was like, wow, I'm going to try beef tallow because I'd read about it. And this is before all the TikTokers were talking about it.
Okay, I didn't know. And before we move past that, the whole beef tallow, right? So you were like, I'm creating a line, Grasa, you told me, it's fat.
Yeah, it's fat.
It's fat.
Oh, yeah. Grasa means fat.
Grasa means fat, which
or grease. Yeah.
I love that it's a beauty product essentially, and it's fat.
Yeah,
because we've always separated those two, right? And it's actually the best thing for us. It's like so we are like I'm putting fat on my face.
Yes.
Okay.
Every day you're putting fat on your face.
I love it.
Yeah, it is so funny. So, I mean, we're about the same age.
Yeah.
Growing up in the 90s, fat is something that was
That's what I'm talking about. We
super feared.
Yes, that
like
word.
Fat-free, non-fat, low fat.
Everything was no
cookies. Fat. Right.
Yeah.
And no wonder, I mean, people didn't look that good in the 90s, y'all. But it's an interesting thing. We need fat in our bodies. And instead of all of these synthetic moisturizers and things that are lab created, really, one of the best things you could do is find something that's bioavailable, that matches your skin's biome, that's low allergen, that is biodegradable, that's eco-friendly.
How did you get down that then? How'd you
figure this out? We already had beef tallow in the house because we don't use any seed oils at all. So we've been cooking in beef tallow since we lived in the RV.
Okay.
You should have seen us whipping up meals in a trailer. But so we had some, and it's definitely not the same quality that I use now. But I was like, let's see what I can do. And I whipped it up and had some lavender oil. I think that's the only essential oil I had when we got back. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And so I refined that a little bit. I did immediately start sourcing packaging because I listened to a podcast religiously called How I Built This by Guy Raz. He's my favorite. And I knew the process that a lot of other people who have an idea that turns into a business. It's the best podcast for people who are like trying to figure out how to start a business.
Yeah.
I think.
All right, everybody, go listen to that.
Listen to it. All of these amazing people who founded products and use and love every day are giving their stories.
Yeah.
And it's free. You can go listen for free.
It's taking an idea, right, and making it a reality.
Right. So I was like, okay, first things first. If I want to give this to people, I can't put it in mason jars because while that's lovely and wonderful and it works for a lot of people, that is just not, I wanted it to feel like a beauty product, not something that's farmer's market or handcrafted. And there's space for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. So I immediately found
that makes
packaging.
Sense. Yep.
Because I also was an educator for a hair product line.
Yep.
Right. Packaging matters.
Yes.
And I know packaging is going to change for me, but that's okay. And so then I gave it to my friends at book club. I remember we were sitting and eating at a restaurant, and I think they all were like, huh.
Yeah. Like, what are we doing?
I was like, their response was like, you made a cream?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm giving this to you for the holidays. Happy holiday. I felt like so dorky.
Yeah. You're like, here's some fat, a little oil.
And it's grass-fed beef tallow.
Yeah.
And the scent then is still the scent now for whip.
Which I love. What is in there?
It's rose and cedar wood.
I love it.
It's kind of classic. And
it is
nostalgic. But it was interesting because not long after that, one of the girls from book club reached out and she's like, can I buy 3 of these?
Yep.
And I was like, yes.
Has it changed since you gave it to them?
No.
It's still the same thing.
Same formula. It was about a month of formulating that before that book club meeting.
Okay. And that's what, So
because I've had some disasters where it was like, it wouldn't whip right. It was too runny. It was like. It's
the perfect consistency. Yeah. It is. It's the perfect, even like when I took it camping and it was cold, it like didn't harden up. It was like really perfect to put on the skin. And it was in like many different temperatures because I traveled with it, Okay. So you didn't go that kind of, I'm going to say it, but like crunchy packaging with it. You kept that hairdresser in you.
Yeah. And I'm crunchy.
Same.
But there's that in my mind there. And I did so much research, girl. I have spreadsheets and like I looked at what other people were putting in their products. I took all of those ingredients. I looked because I was also working on like a lip and cheek color. So I was like, what things do I like? I don't even know their ratios, but I have all these ingredient lists. Yeah. I researched why that would be in it. Is it needed?
Did you add anything into this? What are the ingredients right now in here?
It's pretty basic. Grass-fed beef tallow, organic jojoba oil. I use a little bit of kaolin clay. I mean, it's like 0.1%.
And what does that do for it?
It gives it a little bit of a nicer finish. I tried a product that was tallow based that they used olive oil. It's way too heavy. Coconut oil, heavy. But just that tiny bit of kaolin clay makes it a cleaner finish. Okay. Super clean. Okay. And I want to keep the ingredients super limited. These
are the packaging, by the way, you guys. Really cute little
thanks.
Tubs. And then when you turn them around, and I always show that when I post them right now, like ingredients, because for me, when I eat, I look at my ingredients. I don't like more than 3 ingredients on my food. Right. And I eat everything whole, like unprocessed, right? Like that matters to me. So obviously it should matter when I'm putting it on me too. Absolutely. Like you said, like if I'm going to care when I go to the grocery store and turn things over, I want to care when I look at my
that's so crazy.
My beauty products.
You'll go pick something up off a shelf and put it on, and
you.
Then later you're like, I don't even know what this oxybenzooxylate is. You're like, can't pronounce it. Don't wear it. I
went to Trader Joe's this week and I was like, gonna get this granola that I saw, and it was like this high protein granola, and I was like, it's granola, right? And I turned around, I was like, I don't even know what 3 of these words are, and I was like, this is not.
I know.
We're good. I don't know what the ingredients are.
I know, and even at a store that's conscious.
And it says like high protein, organic, and I was like, I don't know what's preserving this, right? So with this, when you turn it around, and it's like right here, grass-fed beef tallow, organic jojoba oil, and that's the
kaolin
kaolin clay. So
yeah,
simple.
Super
That's
simple.
You know what's in here. You understand what's in here. It's
Yeah,
not
you
complicated.
should be able to pronounce everything.
Right. Like it's not like you need to go down some big experimental list to figure out what you're putting on you.
Right.
And a little bit goes a long way.
Totally.
Like just, these aren't open, just a tiny bit when I put it on, I'm like how long should these last?
6 months. I mean, they could.
Okay,
I would say use it within 6 months. The hair clay, any of the ones that have wax in them, they're going to be better preserved. They're going to last longer. But I mean, it's 50 grams, 50 milliliters. So
you've got the clay for hair. You've got the surf spray for the hair. This is the hairdresser in you.
Yeah,
you had to do hair.
Well, I had one hair product, and then I couldn't release a line with only one hair product.
And then the mend.
Yeah, that's like for my. I mean, that's for my mom and my mother-in-law, really. But whenever I've done in-person events, that is the best seller. And I think because a stranger saying, "Let's put some fat on your face," can be a little weird, but with the mend, I'm like, I really wouldn't put it on my face. I'd use it on my hands, dry feet, sore muscles, because as arnica and calendula.
That's what I want. I mean,
it's nice. Because with how much you work out.
Yeah, like it's all I do. And so I also feel like I was telling you, I was putting a little bit of like the whip on my hands, and like I'm very cautious. We're getting older, right? Like we're like the same age, like the sunscreen, and like we're moisturizing, and like all the little parts that making like matter, you know, for all those years. I was like, like I'm trying to, like, I told you, I want a tub of it.
Yeah.
To like put all over my body. I really do, because it feels that good. And I was just on a job yesterday with Jen, one of our friends, doing makeup, and she was like, your skin looks the best it's ever looked. She was like, your skin, what are you doing? And it was like, this is it. It's so simple. I'm washing it with like a really clean face wash right now. And all I'm doing is whip at night and glow in the morning and the sunblock.
Yeah.
Like that's as simple as my skincare right now.
Well, it's crazy, right? Because you've probably had 20-step routines before.
Of course, we grew up with like the toner, the this, all the things, the oil, really expensive everything.
Which also, it also stresses your skin out. Like most people's skin doesn't need all of the stuff, because our skin is actually a really ideal barrier as it is. It manages itself pretty well.
Back in the day, because you do all the research and stuff, what were people using for moisturizer? Was this it? Was this what they used? Yeah. Like they just, this is what they did. Yeah. To keep their skin.
Completely. Tallow was used back in the Egyptian days. Okay. I mean, it's like.
Why did we go away from it?
Oh, science. Yeah. You know, science is wonderful. I have my in-laws are geneticists. I love science, guys. I believe in science. But I'm not a science project. And
I love that.
You know, there's so many wonderful things that have come from science. Like, yes, preservatives are good for some things. Yes. And I get it. We would have a lot more bacteria and foodborne illness. Yes. I get it. But I'm making my own choices. And I think that the thing is we have to eliminate some of these bad for you chemicals. And what is it? 168 chemicals on average a woman will expose herself to in her daily routine. And it goes into your bloodstream how fast when it touches your skin? Pretty freaking fast. I think it's a really quick number, right? Like immediately when you put something on you, it's in your blood. Like you're not thinking about it, but like what you're putting your lotion on and the scents that your biggest organ. So it's funny because like I'll bring this up quickly, but like I was home for Thanksgiving with my daughter, and I'm like teaching her, like, we don't do fragrance in the house. Like that's just our thing. I have a thing against like fragrance and the smells and stuff. And so we're sitting there, and my mom is like covered in Chanel, right? That's like her scent. Just, the house reeks of Chanel. Like I just can't breathe because I'm not used to it. And she's like talking to my daughter, and she's like, they're fine, honey. Like, Mom, that's just mommy's thing. And I was like, first of all, we're not going to teach her false information. We're just going to state, Mom, that like you like to do this, and that's okay. Yeah. But we're also going to make sure we tell her that they are actually not good for you. I know. Like, unfortunately, they're not. So when I was like showing Frankie Grasa, she was all excited about it and putting it on her skin because she was like, oh, it's clean. I can put this on me. That's sweet. And it's good for her to see that as like a kid, to be aware of it, because we were taught put, Wet and Wild on us. I know. I know. And the kind of stuff we put on us is insane. So like, this is great for kids, teenagers, adults, older people, right? Yeah. Like just everybody. I have, we just released one with no essential oils because there are people who are sensitive to fragrance of any sort. and babies, right? Like,
can you do this on babies?
I would use the Bear on a baby, but yes, I mean, instead of like a medicated diaper cream, like they don't need that every time.
That's
A little
amazing.
tallow on their butt. There you go. I know.
There's a whole market there for you,
know,
with
right?
like babies right now.
I know. I would love to get
right,
into the baby
like
market.
having the little baby line of this. I mean, that's what I was looking for when she was born. Was all the clean, the best things I could put on my baby. That's when you're like hyper, like aware and scared of like what you're putting.
I know.
So with the fat, for some reason, and I don't know if anyone else might feel this way, I think immediately like it's gonna like block my pores.
Right.
That's what I think of. I think of like bacon, grease, fat, and I'm like, am I blocking my pores? Am I going to break out? Which I did not.
Right. Very few people will. And I think it's not, beef tallow is not going to clog your pores. Some people just have more sensitive skin. I have yet to find someone who's had a reaction.
Okay.
It's a little different than like coconut oil because the molecular size is smaller. Coconut oil sits more on your skin. This is absolutely going to be more absorbed into your skin. That's why I use rosehip oil in the glow because one, rosehip oil on its own is so lovely. It's just like one of the smallest molecular sized oils, so it actually gets into your skin. It's very nice and gives you a glow on its own. I love jojoba oil because it's the same thing. You're not going to like get into bed and be all greasy.
See, I used to put the coconut oil on me, as my moisturizer. And it is really heavy and does sit. You feel very slippery. Right? Like
and then your sheets are like
you've got it like stained everything. Your clothes are stained. That's why I was saying like a body butter like this. It is what you say. It does soak in. Like you feel your skin kind of take it. It wants it. It wants it. So it like afterwards, it doesn't feel like it's like sitting right on top of my face.
It's been a journey though. Like I said, I've made so many messes. I've had a lot of mistakes. I've ruined a lot of kitchen equipment. I mean, if there was a period of time where everything in our house was like greasy.
Like I got to ask you like an identity question around this because for a lot of people stepping into something new, right? Like coming out of what you've always done in your comfort zone, stepping into a new role, like a new identity of somebody who's a, creator of something like this. Did you have any kind of mental challenges holding you back in terms of like imposter syndrome or any of those things as you were creating something like this?
A little bit, of course. But I think I had a conversation with my friend Ricky last night, our friend Ricky, that he said that there's something that I'm tenacious. He said, and I never heard him, I don't think I've ever heard him use that word.
That's a good one.
But I liked that because he's right. Stepping into something new is not new. Same. Right? I have done everything and I'm not done. I'm still doing
I love that. Yeah.
And so this feels, I think because I put a lot of money into it, it's very different. I mean, I am not a spreadsheet person. You should see my spreadsheets. Like I'm getting my shit doing together for this because I believe in it. I've seen the people around me respond in a way that one, surprised, and then two, like excited. And it's what is working for them. So it's not just me believing in it anymore. And so it didn't feel, the first few reels I made, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so terrible at this. So, you like just fake it till you make it. But now
you feel
confident. Month in, it's fun, it's exciting, and I can't wait to see, what if I really focus 100% of my energy on this when I'm not around my kid. It's like, to the moon, right?
So for those moms that are listening that have a kid, have a husband, have to work too, right? And want to create something, what is your biggest advice like to still having dreams and still going after new things, even when we get stuck in like, I'm a mom now and I have to work and, like
that's it. That is really, I was thinking about it. I would love to get to a place where I'm able to help other moms. Because unfortunately for a lot of us, once we become a mom, we are dismissed in a way that we weren't before. And trying to get funding as a mom, trying to get this as a mom. And I love that role. And I love that part of my life so much. He's the best human. But I think, you know, he's 3.5 now. And first it was COVID. Then I got pregnant, like in the middle of it. And then, you know, now I've been a mom. So for 4 years, I have been working to find my groove again. And I know that for a lot of women, it takes even longer.
Yes.
Because they don't have the support. They don't have, you know, they just don't have it. And I want to get to a place where I'm able to do that. But the advice I would say is that you have to make space for something that you love. Yes. Whether it's like running, yes, or cooking, or going out by yourself every now and then, you have to do it. And for me, the business is that right now. Like, I'm not exercising as much as I have in the past, which is fine. Yeah, I mean, you're like making space. I'm like holding my hands up, pouring stuff in the freaking chapstick tubes. I was like, you're moving. Is an arm workout. Yeah. But you have to make space for that. Mm-hmm. And what's the cutest thing now is Jackson knows, like, when I'm working on my products, there's certain things he could help with. Mm-hmm. A lot of stuff he can't help with because everything has to be very clean. Yeah. Once everything is packaged. Yeah. I'm like, can you help me wipe down packages? Can you do this? Can you do that? But he doesn't help with any of the packaging or anything because Lord have mercy.
At least he's able to watch his mom, right? Our kids are watching us. They're taking in everything that we do, especially at this age when they're young like this. They really are looking and watching. And so I always think of that with like Frankie and all the roles I play and all the hats I put on, you know, that she is watching me still be an independent like woman who's going after her own dreams, even in my 40s, even as a mom. Like, I didn't just stop. Like, I was like talking to Jen, our other friend, like, I'm really excited about this next like part of life. Yeah. I feel like we're in a better headspace in so many ways to go after the things that like we've always wanted to go after. Yeah. Not like, oh, it stopped and now we're moms, you know, like, no way. So being around you and being around her and being around Ricky and like just our peers and the people around us in the city recently, it's like I reached out to you and I was like, I love watching us all just be so like on fire right now with like our dreams and our visions and like our hustle. Yeah. While also being like family people, you know?
Yeah, we freaking earned it.
Yeah.
Like I mad respect for those people that launch their first business out of business school and get all the funding and then sell it for millions of dollars. Yes. Yay. But that's not my journey. Yeah. No. I have worked my butt off for 20 years. And now I'm working on something I enjoy and it feels amazing because I think doing stuff later in life is nice because you have perspective, you have experience, you have wisdom that you didn't have before.
That's what it feels like.
You have a community that you didn't have before. Like the people in my 20s would have never supported me like this.
Yeah. No, I feel the same way. That's why I just like, once you were like, I'm going out, I'm launching it, I was like all over it because I was like, fuck yes. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're doing it. Like so many are just afraid. They come up with an idea, but taking an idea, making it a reality. And then like, you did it. Yep. You have a product that like people are loving.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy. I think that's the thing that I learned from my hours of listening to this podcast. Yeah. And I've listened to, I have a few favorites, but I've like listened to them multiple times because I'm like, what is it about Tom Rinks who created Sumbum or
what did they do?
What is it about him and like his thing that made him successful where other people aren't? And it's the same thing. I mean, it's the same thing for everybody. Melissa Butler who started Lip Bar.
What's the one thing?
They're relentless. You can't just have an idea and sit back. Like when you were talking about manifesting with Ricky. Yep. Like, well, I put it out there in the universe, but nothing happened. You have to work. Yeah.
You know, it's funny because Ricky's conversation that we had, I had so many people reach out to me and they were like, I just upped my prices. And then I upped my prices. And then like Jen upped her prices. And we were all like really inspired. And sometimes you need to be reminded. Yeah. Right. Like, he was such a good reminder of like, get out there, know your worth, know your value. Right. Like keep putting yourself out there. But like, you can't just sit back and be like, the money's going to come. No, you're going to have to ask for more. You're going to have to do it and still manifesting it, right? Yeah. So like you're going to have to work for it.
Right. I have to label 150 chapsticks today.
But you're still in the mindset of, I know the success that's coming from this. I know, I know the money's coming from this. I know people are going to love this, but like you still are in action while you're in the mindset of what you're receiving, right?
You have to.
You have to be in both.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, it's it's such an interesting thing. I come from a very conservative town, and the idea of like you just, praying for something and not taking action is something that I grew up confused by. So I am an action person. I've always been.
Same.
I always will be. And it's, this is the first of many great things to come in my second half of life.
That is what I'm all like, that's what I'm here for. That's what Jen and I were saying. We had a conversation and we were just like, I'm excited. Like, I'm just excited about this part because the way I'm able to receive and work through things, it's different than when we were younger.
Yeah.
You enjoy it in a different way. You appreciate it in a different way. And I think because we've had the time now to put in all the hard work that we have, the way that you can enjoy something is so different than when you're a 20-year-old that does just immediately have success. And so I always say, like, Vanilla Sky is my favorite movie. And the line is like the sweet and sour. Like, you can't enjoy the sweet without the sour. So if we know the sour, when it's sweet, it's just, there's so much better.
So much better.
It's so much better.
It's, life, yeah, that is super true. I mean, it's kind of, for me, not sweet and sour, but it's like grief and joy, right?
Yeah.
Because I've had some pretty rough times. And Ricky was there for all of them.
Yeah.
Like in 2012, I mean, my whole world collapsed. And because of that, the joy that I have now is very different.
Yep.
And I enjoy, like, I feel like people don't talk about that enough. Like the heaviness that comes with loss, that comes with grief, that comes with failure.
Yep.
And the weight, it could be weight, right? It could be something that weighs you down, or it could be something that grounds you.
Yep.
Like, we need that. We need that humility. We need that experience to be lighter at the end.
Oh my God, I love that you said that. That like hits my soul, because this last year for me was like one of my hardest ones. And I feel like I'm like in that light space right now that like I needed. It did need to happen. Sometimes those hard things do need to happen so you can breathe and take that big breath, right? And be able to like you have that depth in you and that like perspective of life and the grief, like you said, and going through it. So like you being in this moment right now, knowing that you got here.
Yeah.
From there,
it's possible for everybody. There's hope out
like
there.
Like that you're here in a lighter space than you once were.
Yeah.
Right. Like creating amazing things that like you came up with and decided to do. And like the kind of, I would imagine, do you sit back and look at like how proud you are of yourself?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Every now and then. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Because I mean, we all have a little bit of an ego.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you have to.
Yourself. Yeah. And so I'll go back and look. Like I made a couple of reels today. Like they're saved in my drafts, and I'm like pumped because a few of them, I'm like, I don't even care if they get no likes. They crack me up.
Yeah,
I love it. I do.
You're proud of them.
I'm like, they're so funny. I made one with my neighbor that I still haven't posted because I can't stop laughing at it. It's so funny.
So I know Ricky does all his like fashion stuff, right? And so I started doing mine in the morning because I had a bunch of people that like followed me for years, and they were like, "Oh, we want to see what you wear," and da da da. And I was like, "I'm not like Ricky. I'm not going to post up what I wear and stuff. That's not been my like. I've always been just beauty and all my things, but I do identity coaching. Well, identity is what you wear and how you show up. So I was like, you know what, this makes sense." So I started doing that recently, and it's been getting like super well received. And I was kind of shocked.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, they do, like people do like it. But then I had a client today that I did a coaching call with, and she is a mom, and said, kind of like watching you do that as a mom helped remind me that we need to get up and just show up for ourselves and feel good no matter what. So watching you get up and just like put yourself together was like a reminder. And I was like, that's why I'm doing it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then I was like, yes, I told her, I said, I love hearing that because it's an affirmation for me of like, okay, if it's making a woman, like a mom, feel like I need to like get up and like put some love into myself, then like that's
a win.
That's a win right there.
Yeah.
And like helping clients come to me. So it's like, yeah, when we look at ourselves right now and we're doing something and we hear that kind of confirmation or affirmation from like our peers or the people that we're putting it out to, it is like okay.
It feels
good. It feels good.
I got the sweetest this week. So my very first best friend, I like maybe want to cry thinking about it. I was in the first grade, met this girl on the school bus, and my first best friend. She came up to me. She was like, "What's your name? Where do you live? What's your phone number? want to be best friends? I mean, it was like a movie.
Yep.
And we were friends for so long. She ended up moving away in life, you know, but we've reconnected as adults now. She's a mom, and she sent me this message that was like the sweetest message I have received. It was like her and her mom talking about me launching this. And she's like, I can't believe I'm going to receive these products in the mail that were made by my like first best friend.
Aww.
And like she was telling me how proud she was of me. I was like, I couldn't even respond. I was like, how do you respond to that? It was like the nicest, you know, people have been so kind. And I think that's the thing about putting yourself out there.
I was just gonna say that.
And being authentic is that you can't mess up.
No,
like sure, this could completely flop, but what the best thing is like I've now got a community of people that like I know have my back. We now are all supporting each other through
putting yourself out there. You and I have reconnected. Ricky and I have reconnected by him doing his fashion stuff.
Completely.
Like everyone kind of has come together because we're watching all of us put ourselves out there, right? And like back in the world, we all went through COVID. We all got isolated. We all kind of went our separate ways, but we're all these like super creative people, right? That are meant to create,
right?
Like we are, all of us, you know? And so all of a sudden I feel this energy, right? And when you put yourself out there, you open up the opportunity for people to see you and to be vulnerable, right? You are very vulnerable when you put art out there or create something, like, because you put it in the hands of people to have an opinion,
right?
Which is why so many don't. They don't want to fail,
right? One, because the world can be mean.
They can be, they are mean.
People can be mean.
They are, but you don't know the good unless you do it too.
Right. There's no mean will ever knock me down.
This girl, same. They've been trying.
Come on.
I'll get like tons of like Instagram followers, and then like I'll post something and like the next week I like lost them all, and I'm like, they come and go.
I know.
They love me, they hate me. I can't please y'all, but what I'm not gonna do is not keep putting what I want out there, because then when I get those clients and those women that I'm working with, I'm like, that's who this is for. It's not for the ones that aren't here.
Right.
It's not for the ones that don't want to follow me.
There is space.
There's plenty of space for like me to be reaching who I want to reach with like the work that I'm putting out there. And I put my stuff out there all the time. And I will say, like you said, I had my best friend Rose on the Real Romy, and I did the L Word with her, you know, so she's known me forever. And she made a comment during it, and she was like, listen, your superpower is like how you love. So don't let anybody ever like take that from you. And because I've been so trashed my whole life about being such a lover, to have a friend who's known me for so long like say those words to me, it was like you were. I was just like,
so sweet.
It was just so.
Like,
I was, yeah, I was like, that's how I felt. I was like, oh my god, like you see me. So like the people that are seeing you, for you to feel that,
it's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. Like I was talking to a girlfriend about it. I think I've been seen. I'm so fortunate that my parents see me.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
like
same.
from the very beginning, I am not like my siblings. And, you know, I think that they don't always understand my choices, but they trust me now. They trust my choices. I mean, I'm in my 40s. They better trust me.
Yeah.
But I still am super honest. I talk to my parents almost every day.
Yeah.
And
they see you.
They, you know, even my mom was a little confused by this. Ricky, when I introduced him to Grasa a year ago,
was he not
sitting at the table? We had dinner, and I was like, I want to show you something I've been working on, Ricky. And he was like,
was he like, no?
No, he just was like, you know, I remember his reaction was kind of like, huh. Like kind of like he was confused by it.
You're gonna put fat on my face,
and he didn't like the name Grasa, but I gave him. I don't know if I gave it because the glow was like I was like immediately. I was like, this is freaking fun.
Yeah,
because I like some sparkle.
Yeah, same. Yeah, the glow is my favorite.
It was so funny. It's so funny to see how minds can be changed.
Ricky loves it.
I know.
We both were just like, we just want to rub it all over ourselves. Like, so
I like it. I like how much he likes it because he was like, huh. And I think that's what he means by tenacious, where I was like, well, that's
whatever.
Like,
that's not going to stop me.
Yeah, I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
Still calling it Grasa.
Yes.
I like that a lot of people see me.
Yes.
And know that they're always going to get me, just maybe with a different costume on, right? Like a different outfit.
Same.
Like it's the same person.
Same, yeah.
I was like the same girl like I was when I was 8. Yeah. Or when I met Tanisha on the bus.
Yeah.
first grade.
Yeah.
I'm exactly the same.
I love that you stay true to it and that you did just keep doing it your way. I mean, that's even been my path with like even just this, which is going to change. This is a new project for me, right? I've done podcasts, like I told you, for years. Like Rose and I did one right after the L Word, and I've done studio ones. And when I was creating this, I was like, I don't want it to feel like any of the other ones. I just want it to feel, and I mess up with it all the time. I don't turn my mics on. I like screw up this. I'm like, oh my God, it was a great interview. The mics were off. Like, cause I'm not using a producer and I'm not doing it the way that I did, but it was like, and people will be like, do you want to like go in the studio and get back with your edit? I'm like, no. And I need to just stick to like what I know my vision is for it, which is like a very, like I told you, like raw, real, on the street. Like I've been so edited my whole life. So it is that thing where like people want to tell you kind of no.
Yeah, they want to give you direction.
Yeah, direction. And that's, they do. And I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah, be relentless.
Yeah, it's like, that's all right.
This is mine.
This is mine, and I have a vision with what it is, and we'll see if it works or if it doesn't.
I'm still working on like taking that advice that people give you and like being polite.
Yeah.
And be like, oh,
thank you.
That's a good idea. Somebody sent me something recently, and I was like, I felt like I handled it pretty well. Where I was like, thank you for that idea.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And then
because I wanted to be like, but it's terrible.
But I won't be using it. But
back in my 20s, I would have said something a lot worse. But
I think somebody this morning on my page was like, you get engaged a lot. You must be awesome. I was like, looks like it.
Yeah.
Looks like it. And then somebody else left a comment and they were like, how many times have you been engaged? And I was like, not as many times as I've been married. Like, come at me. I'm good. I bring it. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm in a season of like, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can hit me.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. Okay. I am so grateful for your time. I know you have all these out here. It is the holidays. I'm posting this today or tomorrow. So amazing. Where can people buy this now?
They can go to the site. It's grasalife.com. So online for everybody who's not in Austin.
Okay.
If you are in Austin and want to buy it in person, you can go down to Noah Marion on South Congress. I can't believe I've got some stuff on South Congress. It's a big deal. Yep. It's an adorable shop, and you'll probably end up finding lots of other stuff because every time I go in there, I'm like, I want everything. And then the December 14th and 15th in Houston, I'm doing this American Field Market, which is my favorite market to shop at. I always find something for my husband at the market. It's kind of more geared towards outdoor and lifestyle brands. And I feel like I'm probably the baby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's okay.
For sure. But I'm really pumped. So I'm going to have some new stuff there that I'm excited about and some little gift sets also specifically for the market. Those will be on the site next week. So.
And then Instagram
is Grasa Life.
Okay. Yeah. And then right now, anybody can go on, shop online from wherever you are watching. Like she said, locally, there's a shop here on South Congress now to shop. You got hair, you got skin, sunblock, some new things coming, right?
Yeah, a couple new things coming. We got some like a lip balm, and then you could use it on your lips, but it's a little glow stick mini. It's got the glow formulation in it, but in a stick, so you can have like a little highlighter.
If you have any new moms with babies and booties, get some of this for them as well. New moms who want to feel also beautiful after having a baby or with a baby or feel tired, get them some glow. Your moms, your dads, your brothers, everybody. I really, it's fun when a friend makes something and you want to support them, and sometimes it's hard.
Yeah.
But yours is so good.
Thank you.
But I was like, I love being so about it. I don't ever want to use anything else.
I want to take some of the market share of those kids going to Sephora. So if you've got kids going to Sephora and you're like, man, we're dropping a lot of money on Drunk Elephant.
Yep.
Come get some Grasa.
Yeah, get some Grasa.
And feel good about it.
Yeah, and also know that you're supporting a mom who's out here creating her dream and her business. That's where you're putting your money this holiday, right? That's it, just in general. That's what I would say. So I wanted to get this up before Christmas. And thank you for letting me try it and play with it. It's been such a win. I fell in love with it, and I'm really proud of you.
Thank you so much. This is so fun.
All right, guys, have a good day. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.